The opposite of gray is blue, at least it was in 1862. The opposite of two is a lonely me and a lonely you. These are just some of the poems that are contrasts by Richard Wilbur. He wrote in 2000, around the new century, a volume of poems called Mayflies. And one of the poems in there by the title name is my favorite that I've memorized. I'd like to share it with you now. So, okay. In somber forest, when the sun was low, I saw from unseen pools a midst of flies in their quadrillions rise and animate a ragged patch of glow with sudden glittering. It was no muddled swarm that I witnessed, but they formed a manifold and figured scene, and seemed to be fine pistons of some bright machine, or the golden threads of some fabric cloth. Watching those lifelong dancers of a day, I felt myself alone in a life too much my own. Unless I thought I'd been called to be not fly or star, but one whose task it is to declare how fair the fiats of the caller are. So May flies by, the month of May, and time is fleeting. The Canadian mayfly itself is an insect that only lives one day. It does a ballet move called entresant, which is French for flitter, and they seem to be glowing and ascending and descending like many little stars in the sky. This poem is about community. The poet is lamenting the fact that he lives a life, quote unquote, too much my own. A beautiful phrase, but also the fact that the animal world has collectivity and solidarity, and human society, with emphasis on individualism and the rugged, solitary way, puts self-interest ahead of the group. So this poem explores family resemblances, not so much the stars or the flies, but one whose task it is to declare how fair the fiats of the caller are. The Latin word fiat means let it be done unto me according to thy word, but also in creation, not just the Virgin Mary's Annunciation, but at the very beginning of the Bible, God says, let there be light. So the Creator, on the 7 days of Genesis 1, the very first chapter, which I encourage you to reflect upon, we get our 7-day week from this text. And 10 times God says, let there be cattle, fish in the sea, moon and sun. Let there be light, of course. And that's the most famous Latin phrase, fiat lux, Fiatlux. So let it be, as the Beatles say, let it be, let it be.